exclusive presentation of the Carolina Panthers and the National Football League.
The 2015 season was an historic one for the Carolina Panthers.
Cam Newton throws a pass in end zone. Caught, touchdown! Yes! Incredible play! Oh my goodness! The Carolina Panthers are headed to Super Bowl 50.
The 17-2 Panthers are powered by the NFL Coach of the Year, 10 Pro Bowlers, and the NFL MVP.
Oh! Somersault for the touchdown!
Superman!
The dream season came to an end in Super Bowl 50, but the Panthers have reloaded for 2016 with a talented group of rookies and the return of Kelvin Benjamin.
Caught, bobbled, touchdown!
The reigning NFC champs begin their road to Super Bowl 51 tonight in Baltimore.
The great Cam Newton is ready. Quarterback Joe Flacco is ready. Carolina Panther fans who have made their way to Baltimore in force are also ready for the start of another season of Carolina Panther football. Welcome to M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore. I'm Mick Mixon reporting. The remarkable accomplishments of last season's Carolina Panther team will forever remain an indelible part of the history of this proud franchise. But so too will the pain of a loss in Super Bowl 50. There's one sustainable way to ease that sting, and that's for this year's team to begin its assault on Super Bowl 51. And what a ride it was last year, a season to remember. The franchise second Super Bowl berth, third straight conference crown. Most regular season wins, 15. The previous high was 12, and the offense put up a team record 500 points. On defense, fourth straight year of a top 10 D coordinated by Sean McDermott, Ron Rivera the coach of the year, and Cam Newton the NFL's MVP. Let's bring in our own MVP, color analyst Mike Rucker. Ruck, as an important part of the 03-04 Carolina Panthers, you've been exactly where this team is. What challenges confront a club after a Super Bowl loss?
Well, coming out to the 04 season, we were really excited about starting that season, and we really thought that we were just going to pick up where we left off, and that was probably not a good idea because we started that season off really slow at 1-6. The one thing I like about Coach Rivera, recognizing that slow start, is that he went and sought advice from Hall of Famer John Madden, and John Madden told him one thing. He said, listen, do not think that you're going to pick up where you left off. You have to start off new. You have to move on.
In the NFL, even for an immense talent like Cam Newton, if you're not getting better, people are catching up to and passing you. Here's what Cam Newton did in his MVP last season. We call your attention to the red zone efficiency, 24 touchdown passes, no picks in the red zone. But he can and he wants to get better, Mike Rucker. In what areas?
You know, the one thing you love, there's no interception in the red zone. Going into his sixth year, he continues to get better and better. You think he reaches the ceiling, he pushes the sky a little bit further. And the one thing that's really going to help Cam get better is getting his 6'5", 245-pound receiver Kelvin Benjamin back. Lost him last year to an ACL injury, but he's going to be back. He's healthy, and that's going to help him when it comes down to crunch time.
Had the glittery rookie season. The Panthers are lucky to have him back. Looking forward to it. There's John Harbaugh with the owner of the Baltimore Ravens, Steve Bisciotti. We'll rock and roll when we come back. It's Carolina Panther, Baltimore Raven football coming up next.
Carolina Panthers football is being brought to you by Bank of America, official bank of the Carolina Panthers. By Pepsi, official soft drink partner of the Panthers and all for the Carolinas. By Bojangles, your official tailgating headquarters and iced tea of the Carolina Panthers. It's Bo Time. And by Miller Lite. As long as you are you, it's Miller time.
Great look at the Inner Harbor in this port city of Baltimore, Maryland, home of crab cakes, Michael Phelps, the baseball Orioles, and the two-time Super Bowl champion Baltimore Ravens. Mick Mixon and Mike Rucker upstairs. Let's send it down now to our sideline reporter, former Carolina Panther O-lineman Kevin Donnelly for the latest on a retooled Panther defensive secondary. Kevin.
Yes, thank you, Mick. The secondary saw some big changes this offseason. With the departure of Josh Norman, there was the retirement of Charles Tillman. That left big voids in the secondary for the Carolina Panthers. To fill those needs, the Panthers went to the draft. First, they selected cornerback James Bradbury. They followed that up with a pick of Darryl Worley, and then finally got Zach Sanchez. Now, James Bradbury, Darryl Worley, two taller cornerbacks, have a lot of range, can cover the wide receivers in the NFC South, some taller wide receivers. And then Zach Sanchez is a very aggressive ball-hawking corner, so it's great to be able to have those additions to the secondary. Now, with all those changes in the back end, there's one thing that will remain the same. That's the presence of Kurt Coleman. He had 7 interceptions last year, his best season as a professional. But what the Panthers are going to count on even more from him this year are his leadership abilities. He's going to have to lead these young group of cornerbacks if the Carolina Panthers defense is going to be successful.
Coleman looks mean, but he's one of the nicest guys on the team, Ruck. You see him having a calming influence on the young back end this year?
I do. I think he's going to be a big help to these young guys and helping them calm down and get them lined up really well.
So Tucker has it teed up, and we're underway. Demir Bird, a couple of yards deep, had a notion, and then takes a knee. New rule change this year. The ball will be placed differently. More about that in a second. Your Miller Lite starting lineups brought to you by Miller Lite. Greg Olsen, the incomparable tight end, trying to become the first tight end in the history of pro football to put 3 straight 1,000-yard seasons together. The offensive line anchored by Ryan Khalil, the veteran. He's the microprocessor that keeps all the files collated on the Panther hard drive up front. So with the ball at the 25-yard line, the reigning NFL MVP getting some air onto his fingertips for the feel of the football. One back and the reverse. Coming near side 10 again, it's open. First down and more. Pushed out of bounds after a gain of almost 20 yards.
Well, you get misdirection early on by the Carolina offense. You're going to put the ball into speedy receiver Ted Ginn Jr. He does the rest. He's got some great downfield blocking. You see Kelvin Benjamin blocking his corner 15 yards down the field.
17 yards and a first down. Newton clapping his hands, asking for the football. He's got it. 4-man pressure. And there's Olsen on the outcut near sideline. Baltimore typically good on defense. Brandon Williams, the nose tackle. A lot of Raven fans upset he didn't have the Pro Bowl nomination last year. The linebacker, C.J. Mosley, maybe the best of that group. And Weddle, 3-time Pro Bowler, added to the Ravens secondary. The throw and catch to Olsen did net a first down, so right back to work go the Carolina Panthers, Ruck. And again, Cam Newton and Greg Olsen going together like red beans and rice out there.
You know what? I like the tempo. If you're looking at the play clock, Cam is getting them out of the huddle. He's trying to get a rhythm. You start off with the reverse and then 2 passes. You get your guys involved early with Greg Olsen early with a nice catch.
From out of the wing eye. Second down, 7. Whitaker probing for a couple. This is a run to pass offense, Ruck. Some people get tripped up by the flash and dash, the speed and sparkle, the option. It's kind of an old school philosophy of Mike Shula.
And that's, you know, it's a kind of a lost art, the running game, and people sticking to the running game. And the Panthers are committed to it. Thus, you saw them second ranked last year in rushing.
Panthers spread it out a bit on 3rd down and medium. Newton from a clean pocket. Complete to Burson into Raven territory for the first down.
You know, the Ravens try to bring a little pressure. Cam holds in there. You know, what I like about this offense so far is that they're giving Cam time. He gets hit right here, but Cam is taking the receivers that are open. He's dumping it. He's getting the 5-10 yards, and he's getting the ball out.
Cam 3 for 3 in the passing game. New series of downs. 3-by-1 set with Mike Tolbert in the backfield, and now Olsen flexes out to the right to balance the formation somewhat. Tolbert, the dancing bear, for 7.5 right side. He's a handful, isn't he?
Well, Mike Shula, he just spreads the defense out, lets Cam see. Cam checks off, gives it to Tolbert. And then when you're able to get those linebackers spread out, now you are able to get your running back to that second level with those linebackers spread out like that. Pick up 7 yards.
Panthers unbalance the line to the right. And again, a running play. This time it is Tolbert again for the first down. Mike Tolbert, 30 years old, dancer's feet, nose for the end zone, great hands, a big part of the Carolina rushing attack.
You know, you look at this backfield when you got a quarterback that's a Pro Bowler, you got Jonathan Stewart, your fullback's a Pro Bowler. This backfield is full of Pro Bowlers.
And that's that lead pipe component he brings to your running game. 3rd down in inches, and he picks it up with that low center of gravity.
Very seldom are you going to be able to stop him. And so when you got short yardage like that, that's his bread and butter.
Been a good drive so far for the first team offense. Cameron Artis-Payne, Cap, they call him. Checks in, former Auburn Tiger. Newton directs him to Cam's right. Benjamin got it. For about 5. Sharice Wright finally hemmed him in.
See, what you got to understand, you're looking at a guy that's 6'5", 245 pounds. Look how aggressive he is with his hands. And then he just uses his body to blanket the cornerback that has no chance of getting that ball.
4th first down on the drive. And now the Panthers with 2nd down and 5 in the red zone. Ravens play a 3-4 typically. Newton with 4 on the play clock. To the right. Looked like Ted Ginn, and it was Ted Ginn Jr. sneaking up the right sideline for another first down. In the red zone, our CPI security system red zone stats. The Panthers, fantastic in the red zone last year, Mike Rucker, in part because they held on to the football.
They held on to the football and they punched it into the end zone. They weren't settling on field goals. They punched it in. You can see that they were 3rd in the league. And, you know, the best thing is they took care of the ball. No interceptions.
Newton just now gets off of his right knee in the huddle. Artis-Payne, the lone setback. Eight men in the box. Be tough to run against this. And it is. Sometimes the defense is just better than you on a play.
And it gets tough in the red zone to score, and that just tips your hat off to why they were so good last year, because once you get in there, the field shortens down. You know, there's not a whole lot of field to work with, and so when you load the box up with 8 guys, it's just that much harder.
Saw Weddle, the veteran safety, 9 years in San Diego, make the tackle. So here's Cam Newton. He's been perfect so far, 5 for 5 passing. Facing 2nd down. 12th play in the drive that started at the 25-yard line. Wider splits, no score. Up inside, Cameron Artis-Payne for a few. How important is it, Mike, to the sort of the synchronicity of it all, that Cam Newton looks across that O-line and sees the exact same 5 numbers he saw last year?
It's huge because he knows every single guy there. He knows what makes him tick, and he knows he's going to be protected. And so that's going to be that's huge for him to know that he's got that security up there with those front 5.
3rd and goal, Fozzie Whitaker in the backfield. Burson in the right slot. Newton slings it. End zone, almost caught by Ted Ginn Jr., but incomplete. Jimmy Smith running with him. First incompletion of the night for Cam Newton.
Yeah, it's been a great drive, and then you get this shot. Cam's got a lot of time in that pocket, and just outside the reach of Ted Ginn Jr. right there. He knows he wish he had that one back, but that's a great drive. When you're looking at your offense and the play calling has been called and how this offense is executed down the field, you got to be pleased.
Graham Gano from 26. He was 30 of 36 last year. 4 of those were blocked. It's up and good. So the Carolina Panthers, with a nice drive, go from the 25 deep into the red zone and settle for 3. Middle first quarter. We'll take a break with the score from M&T Bank Stadium. Panthers 3 and the Ravens nothing. Panthers up 3-0, 7 rushes, 6 passes, and then the made field goal. The keys to the game tonight are brought to you by the North Carolina Education Lottery. Mike Rucker, what do you have your eye on?
Well, I'm going to go with the Carolina Panthers key. I'm going to go with that running game. You know, they were second ranked in the running game, you know, averaging 146 yards last year. That can get the ball going. And with the Baltimore Ravens, I'm going to say they're going to test this young secondary. Flacco, a veteran quarterback, they're going to go and try to test them early.
The new Panthers scratch-off ticket is now on sale, a $200,000 top prize and a chance to win Panther season tickets for 20 years. Tavon Young, the deep back, and Gano does what he so frequently does, careers it out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Baltimore last year, 11-5 was what they were thinking they would do. They reversed it and went 5-11. A lot of injuries, but they're trying to get the run game going. And Ben Watson, the tight end, a Rock Hill, South Carolina native, published author, and a father of 5. The rookie, it's a veteran group up front. The rookie Stanley, Ronnie Stanley, first-round draft choice, will play left tackle this season. Javorius Allen gets the handoff from Ryan Mallett, and the Panthers bracket him and drop him for no gain. Mallett, third-round draft choice, New England 2010, cut by Houston. He's been a solid citizen so far in Ravens camp through all the indications. Allen trucking right, and the Panthers stone him. Yet another stout and very salty defensive line. Short and Ely had the monster seasons last year. Johnson's come back lighter. Shaq Thompson in his second season, been some of the talk of training camp. He's played well. And then Trey Boston rounding into form at safety. Third down, chance for the Panthers to get off the field. Johnson coming in hard on a rush. Mallett scrambling. Racked up short of the line to gain. Shaq Thompson made the tackle. What a compliment Sean McDermott paid to Shaq Thompson. Ruck said you hate to take him even off the field.
Yeah, he's going to be a big part of this defense. And this defense was stingy again in 3 downs and making this team punt. You know, they stopped him, stoned him 2 runs in a row, and then they forced the quarterback to run. You're going to see a lot of this from this defense again this year.
Pro Bowler Sam Cook to punt. Demir Bird will track it. Good punt. Pushes Bird towards the near sideline. To the 20. Little crease. And down at the 23-yard line. Not bad in a high traffic area. It's the Panthers 3, the Baltimore Ravens nothing, and we'll be back with more Panther football after a word from your local Panthers station. Beautiful night in Baltimore, 3-0 Panthers. Ryan Khalil talking with John Matsko, the Panther offensive line coach, to Kevin Donnelly on the sideline. Why is Khalil not playing tonight, KD?
You know, he's not playing tonight just to get a little extra rest. He's a 10-year veteran. He's got no injuries or anything going on right now. Just wanted to avoid the first preseason game. So that set up Gino Gradkowski, who got to start at center and did a very good job on that 14-play drive of the offense, sending it for a 3-point win.
Panthers got that field goal. Gradkowski spent 3 years here in Baltimore as a Raven. So Derek Anderson in at quarterback. Backside pressure, ball's out of there. Ravens had it. Might have lost it. No, they recovered it. Zadarius Smith got a big paw on Derek Anderson's right arm.
Yeah, you see him right to the right of your screen on Williams. And he just does a speed move, rip around the corner. You hate to see that after that first drive, and you come back in your first series. You just don't want to see that your very first play of your preseason 2016.
Nose tackle Carl Davis recovered the fumble, so the sudden change, and the Panther defense has to get ready to go. First and 10, Baltimore, the Carolina 21. Play action. Mallett with the big arm, going end zone, incomplete. Broken up by James Bradbury.
You know, we talked about them getting tested early. Bradbury's in position, didn't have his head turned around, but he was still mugging his receiver, and the ball just hits him in his right arm.
So is that what he's supposed to do, or does he want to get his head?
Well, you want to get your head back, but the receiver was behind him, so that's why he didn't have his head turned back around to see the ball.
Flanker left, flanker right. Terrence West on the zone stretch. Close to a first down. Shaq Thompson finally ended the play.
You know, Coach McDermott, he's looking at his defense in change of possession. Obviously, as a defense, you got to be ready for everything. The ball got knocked out, goes to the Baltimore Ravens. He's looking at this defense and how they respond to change of possession.
One day soon, the Panthers will have to play against a team coached by that man, Sean McDermott, one of several head coaches in waiting on Ron Rivera's staff. Third down and 2. West with a good second effort will have it to the 9-yard line. James Worley made the tackle. Baltimore in the red zone last year, not as good. They had problems with penalties and turnovers, Ruck, in a 5-11 campaign.
Yeah, you don't want to be at the back end of the league in scoring. I mean, you can, you know, be last in maybe some other areas, but in the red zone, that's where you need to put up points.
First and goal at the 9. Our red zone stats brought to you by our friends at CPI, the home automation and security company of the Carolina Panthers. Defense all bunched up, single high safety look. There's some penetration. Star Latulele busted up the game.
Now Star will be coming right there in front of you. Look, he just does a quick spin move. There's no way of stopping the big fella. Anytime as a defensive lineman you can get penetration and you're playing on the other side of the ball, it's not going to turn out good for the offense very often.
Starlight Lenny Latulele, one of Dave Gettleman's early draft picks and an excellent player. Second down and goal. Snap a little high, but Flacco has it. Pats the football once, twice, and then throws it a whisker behind Darren Waller. Doing some chicken fighting with Bradbury.
You see him, he's getting his hands on the receiver. He's a big physical corner. So you can see this is a big receiver that he's going up against, but he's physical with him. And that's what you like about that physicalness that he brings to the table. He's going to have his learning curves, but that right there, you can't teach being physical at the line of scrimmage.
He's a long 6'1" as well. Reaching height, a little taller than his standing height. So the penalty flag down, Mallet throws intercepted, picked off A.J. Klein. Klein coming down the near sideline with a convoy. And will score a touchdown for the Carolina Panthers. A 94-yard interception return for a touchdown from A.J. Klein. Terry McCauley's the referee. Did you see anything, Ruck?
I did not. Everybody's kind of walking back like they know what's going on.
And McCauley just sort of scratched.
But you still got to be excited for Klein. You know, AJ being in the right spot.
Offsetting penalties will rack it up and do it all over again.
There are 2 fouls on the play. Illegal formation. Offense number 71 was not on the line. That penalty's declined. Illegal substitution. Player ran on the field after the interception. Number 1 of the intercepting team.
Oh, well.
5-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. First down, Carolina.
It is, so it's after the interception, so the change of possession will stand. It's a point of emphasis this year, keeping coaches and players not in the game off of the field.
Yeah, I mean, you see right here, going after Bradbury again, but Klein being in the right spot. And you just hate that you have this long run going back for a touchdown, and it gets called for a penalty.
See, I wonder who number 1 could be.
I don't know.
He got onto the field. A kicker? No. Oh, my goodness. Cam Pleading his case.
Yeah, there's not too many things that he does wrong, and they got him on this one right here.
Cam keeping up a constant stream of dialogue to the officials who were at training camp, and he has a comment on everything.
Well, you know, he's excited. I mean, it's preseason. You see your guy get an interception, and you just get a little too far on the field.
So still, A.J. Klein with a nice interception. Derek Anderson. Tight splits, high backs. Fozzie Whitaker to about the 22. Whitaker's a good back. University of Texas. Good receiver. Take a look at our Geico scoreboard. Other three NFC South teams all in action tonight. Philadelphia, the early lead against Tampa Bay. New Orleans and New England scoreless. Next week, the Panthers will be at Tennessee. Once again, the flanker reverse. Philly Brown with infractions.
Illegal block in the back. Offense number 17. 10-yard penalty. Second down.
Yep. Funches.
Funches right there. And one thing that Ricky Pro will get him this week and say, look, you don't have to put your hands out there. You can get your body and shield and still get the same result. But anytime your hands go away from your body in the back, they're going to call that all the time.
So Funches came a million miles last year. A little late. It was November before he kind of flamed on. What did you see, Ruck?
Exactly right. And I like his height and the way that he's caught on. They said he's had a great training camp up to this point. And when you add this guy into the rest of this mix, it's going to be a powerful offense.
Funches to the near side. 6'4" receiver. Third down 12. The handoff sweep not there. Fozzie Whitaker eaten alive. Zachary Orr from North Texas State.
Baltimore Ravens defense, get some penetration. Anytime you're running a sweep, it takes some time to develop, and as a running back, you got to be patient. The number one killer in running a sweep is penetration, and you saw the Baltimore Ravens penetrate right there.
Ravens stiffening up on defense after the A.J. Klein pick. Third down 17. Simonson motions into the backfield. Over the middle, Burson got it. First down, Carolina to the 10-yard line. Burson trying to get one of those coveted receiver slots on this team.
And Coach talked about it at camp about, you know, how to replace the numbers of Jericho Cottrey, and he mentioned Burson as being one of those guys. They're going to be looking for the guy that can play the slot inside, and when you're catching the ball like that, you're going to turn heads.
23-yard gain on third down and long. Late first quarter. Anderson. Funches. Touchdown. Hand caught the ball and then got both feet in. Right underneath Sharice Wright.
We just talked about him coming light years, getting better towards the end of the season. Derek Anderson, one of the best number 2 quarterbacks in the league, just throws it to only where Funches can catch it, to that pylon, and Funches uses that big, tall body to haul in for the touchdown.
The Panthers this year could have, I mean, if they wanted to, they could have a whole posse of 6'4", 6'5" receivers.
I mean, they're big. You got, you know, KB coming back, Funches coming on. Then you got your all-pro tight end and Olsen. But we can't forget about the running back core that got all pros back there. So you have a lot of weapons, and you saw early in this game, they have spread the ball to all their weapons. Everybody's happy so far.
You know, the PAT. Perfect. Derek Anderson, the Moose from Scappoose, Oregon, throwing the touchdown pass to give the Carolina Panthers a 10-0 lead at Baltimore. 10-0 Carolina at Baltimore. Let's check in with our Krispy Kreme sweet tweets. When the Panthers win, you win. The Monday following every Panther victory, you get a dozen original glaze for just $4.99 at Krispy Kreme. Everybody getting amped up for the season. Happy Panthers Day. Who's ready from Roaring in Grio? Roaring Grio. It's game day, boys. Time for touchdowns, tackles, and tailgate. Bring the pain. Krispy Kreme sold so many donuts last year for such low prices on those Victory Mondays. I think they had to have a corporate meeting to discuss things.
I was in there. I was one of them.
Young back up field, toppled at around the 15. Marcus Ball helping make the tackle. Late first quarter, M&T Bank Stadium. 10-0 Carolina. Back after this word from your local Panther station. This is Derek Anderson. Knows he's got Funchess. Sort of a glider, Funchess is. So after you do that, your sweet tooth kicks in.
Get you some of those lifesavers.
Mallett whips it to Waller. Decent yardage. Colin Jones defending. There's Colin. Panthers still have Vernon Butler out there. Carolina starting to sub in defensively. Jones, a very good special teams player, provides depth as well. Mallett turns left and hands off, but it's not there. Javorius Allen met by a committee of the black-shirted Carolina Panthers. There's Vernon Butler, 92. What do you think of him as a prospect, Mike?
We met, and I'm telling you what, there's not too many guys that I look up to, and the big fellow is big. He's athletic. He's nimble on his feet, and he's going to get some work here tonight, but they're really high on him and really excited to see what he can do and help this defense.
He's not doughy big. He's muscular big.
Absolutely.
Right? Mallett dumps it over the middle. Tight end Max Williams grabs it. And James Bradbury pops it. And that should be the last play of quarter number 1 in Baltimore. So Ravens. Teams will change ends as we go to break. Coach Ron Rivera, arms folded across his ample chest, fairly happy with the Panthers' 10-0 lead. 10-0 Carolina. Our first quarter stats are brought to you by Bank of America. Sometimes stats tell the right story, sometimes they don't. How about after 15 minutes, Ruck?
Well, I liked it, what the coaching staff has done. They've come out. They are balanced. The defense has played really well and gotten off the field. The offense has gotten a field goal, a touchdown. You're seeing all kinds of runs and passes. Just really balanced. A great game plan so far.
Panthers have mixed run and pass together on third down and very short. The Ravens take to the air for a first down. Butler from Mallett. David Mayo made the tackle. Gain of 8 on the play. Mayo making his mark on special teams last year. West pummeled at the football as he was taken down by Mayo.
Up a corner blitz. You see right here, number 26, Daryl Worley, coming in on that corner blitz. Almost gets to the QB and gets him down to the ground. They get that ball out, but look at the defense, how they just swarm. And Mayo, he takes off. He's just like a little Keekly. I mean, sideline to sideline.
Mallett started 0 of 3, has completed his last 4 passes, and now the Ravens crease Carolina right up the chute in the run game. Butler finally making the tackle.
A lot of times when you see big runs like that, that means somebody's pads were really high, and you're going to get drove off the ball when they're able to crease the ball and see that crease like that.
8 yards rushing. Mallett 6'6". Gives off right side to Allen. Javorius Allen broke 1 tackle and slithered for a few more. Ravens did not run the ball very well last year, 26th in rushing. Baltimore had a ton of injuries as well. They made 105 roster moves last year. On second down. Complete to Waller against Jones. Waller getting a lot of work. Second-year player from Georgia Tech.
You know, they're kind of nickel and dime right here. They're kind of moving the sticks these last couple plays. The Panther defense needs to get some type of pressure on this quarterback. Get him down, get some more hits on him, disrupt their timing.
Kenneth Dixon in, 9th play in the drive. It's Dixon from Louisiana Tech to the 10, to the 7. Trey Boston with a shoe duster to get him down.
Well, you'll see the Baltimore Ravens do a great job of putting hat on hat. They've got a white jersey on every black jersey. Allows his running back get up into the secondary right here. You see, boom, you got to shed that block and get off the block. You see right there Mayo on that particular. The offensive lineman's 10 yards downfield and you're still locked on him.
At a 19-yard gain. Once again, it is Dixon, a teammate of Vernon Butler at Louisiana Tech. See what the Panthers were like last year in our CPI security systems. Red zone defense, 13th in the NFL. How do you rate that, Mike?
That's about, you know, it's middle of the pack, and I guarantee Coach Sean McDermott will say, hey, look, we can continue to get better. We're good in some other areas, but we can continue to be better, especially in the red zone.
Second down and goal. Mallett flushed, directing traffic. Got a receiver open, Max Williams to the 1-yard line, maybe the 2.
Yeah, the cardinal rule as a defensive end is that you cannot let the quarterback outside the pocket. So you're too thick up on that left tackle right there, the right tackle there, and now you let that quarterback buy himself some time to look downfield. And that puts a lot of stress on your secondary when the quarterback leaves the pocket, because now they're saying, is he going to run? Do I need to come up and help in the run game? Do I need to find my man? It makes it really difficult for the secondary.
6th straight completion for Ryan Mallett. Now it is 3rd and goal. And the Ravens don't get it in. Terrence West to the 1-foot line. There's Sean McDermott, very intense defensive savant.
And it's going to be interesting. The Ravens have moved down the field. It's warm out here. The big fellas are sweating. They're tired. You got a half a foot, but you got to swell up.
Here we go. Use check the fullback. West behind him. It's West for the touchdown. Panthers made him work for it, but the Ravens pick up 6.
Yeah, this is just Imato, who wants it more. And the running back, like I said, you only got about 6 inches to go. The offensive line for the Ravens had more push.
PAT could make it a 3-point ball game at M&T Bank Stadium. So that drive, 13 plays, 84 yards, took 6.5 minutes off the clock.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about a minute ago, is that, you know, the big fellas, you get tired, and the coaches want to see how you play when you're tired.
Justin Tucker nails it. So there's new life on the Baltimore sideline. Back with the kickoff next from M&T Bank Stadium, where the Panthers now up 3. Ravens touchdown has trimmed a 10-point Carolina lead to 3. Our closed captioning tonight is brought to you by Charlotte Eye, Ear, Nose, and Throat Associates, helping you enjoy the sights and sounds of the NFL all season long. For more information, visit CETA.com. The Panthers knew they would be facing a physical football team in the Baltimore Ravens. And I think that last drive indicated that Baltimore's joined the fight.
You know, absolutely. You wouldn't expect anything different. This is the NFL, and you know, you're going to punch and you're going to push when you've got to expect them to come back. And they came back and they answered the call with a big long drive like that.
Ravens auditioning another kicker, Will Lutz, rookie from Georgia State. He counts 5 on either side and bangs it. Bird, 1 yard deep. Looking for a wedge, and is there. To the 40. Yanked down from behind the 46, 47-yard line. Demir Bird with a spark in the return game. We'll take another look at that 48-yard return right after this word from your local Panthers station.
Just two I gave the guys is you can't expect to show up and pick up where we left off. We got to start from the bottom. We got to start from the base fundamentals of football and build it back up. That's what we did. We've done that for 5 seasons, going into our 6th now. We're going to start from the base fundamentals. We're going to work our way up, and we're going to have to stay hungry because, again, we're going to be the hunted. We're going to be the ones that everybody want to get after in the NFC, you know, and we'll see what happens.
And he's exactly right. They've won the NFC, and everybody's going to use them as a measuring stick, and they're going to come after them with everything they got. So you have to start from 0, and it's a new ball game.
Derek Anderson with Cameron Artis-Payne just off of his right hip. This is Payne. Wrestled down after maybe a gain of 1, if that. Let's go to Kevin Donnelly on the Carolina Panthers sideline. Kevin.
Well, the second-team defensive lineman came out absolutely gassed, but Eric Washington, the defensive line coach, is coaching them up, trying to get them on their run fits to stop the run better. At one point, Coach Rivera even walked over and went through some of the diagrams with Coach Washington to make sure when this group goes back out, they do better against the run.
Loss of 1, meanwhile, Kevin on that last play, 2nd and 11. On the draw, Cameron Artis-Payne looking for a hole to get Skinny in. It'll be 3rd and about 9. Michael Pierce made the tackle. Pretty good depth at running back, Mike. The coach is saying they feel very, very good about not only Stewart and Tolbert, but the men behind them.
Yeah, that's why you haven't seen a lot of guys added to that backfield. They really like Payne and what they got in him, and so they're going to go with the crew that they had last year.
Bunch trips right on 3rd and 8. Anderson looking. The comeback route left side. Short of first down yardage. Brenton Burson, his 3rd reception of the game.
Burson very active tonight, you know, fighting to find some catches. He has to come back. I'd like to see Derek Anderson push that pass a little bit more. Burson had to kind of come back to get the ball and just comes up a little bit short.
Sort of in no man's land. It'd be a very long field goal from here, and the Panthers don't feel like punting, so going to go for it.
Well, he's saying, look, we got a good defense. You know, we've had a long drive that last outing, but we're going to go for this.
Timeout, Carolina. Panthers were in a time jam getting out of the huddle on that.
Yeah, you got to wonder if they're going to rethink it.
So we'll take a timeout with Ron Rivera's Carolina Panthers. Back with more in just a second with Carolina up 3. 4th and a yard for Ron Rivera and the Carolina Panthers. Punting this year. They're not going to punt this, but Swayze Waters on the left, 29 years old. Mike Cyphers, the veteran, spent 13 years in San Diego. The two engaged in quite a battle to be the Carolina Panthers opening day punter. Wing eye, Simonson. Motions from far to near. On 4th and 1. First down. Rushing. right up the middle.
The big guys up front, they wanted it more for the Carolina Panthers offense, and they just moved the line of scrimmage when needed. You see the big pulling guard right there, allowed the running back just to scoot up in there and to move the chains.
As an O-lineman, you got to get your man and yourself out of the hole.
Yes.
Radkowski and company.
That's an attitude. That's an attitude play right there.
Cameron Artis-Payne for the first down. Funch trips right again. Anderson instead going left side, intended for Burson. Good defense by Sheldon Price.
Just a little out route. You see Price was in a good position on Burson to able to get that hand in and just knock it out. Good protection, good timing, but the defense makes plays too, and Price just made a great play.
First misfire for DA Derek Anderson tonight. Ravens adjust their defense to compensate for the Panthers shift and motion. The in cut to Norwood didn't get his head turned around quickly enough, and it will be 3rd and 10. Here's what else is happening around the NFL tonight. Atlanta up 10 over Washington. Score stays the same in the Philly-Tampa Bay game. Bucks could be better this year. New Orleans coming back against New England. More action tomorrow and over the weekend. Scores from around the league brought to you by Geico. Middle second quarter. And on 3rd and 10, Anderson from a muddy pocket's got Philly Brown to the 10 and out of bounds at the 7-yard line. Will Davis bumped him out. But a penalty flag. Hold everything.
I wonder if they call a pick here. One of these two receivers, they do an X route. I wonder if he picked them off. Because Philly Brown.
Pass interference. Offense number 81. 10-yard penalty. 3rd down.
And Philly Brown came wide open. You see right here, they kind of cross. It's kind of like supposed to be a timing route. They called it, but Philly ran a great route and was wide open. I don't know if that would have stopped him from catching that ball or not, but they called that penalty.
Had Norwood not initiated contact there, had he maybe made more of an effort to?
It looked like it was kind of a collision, and he had his arms kind of extended. I mean, obviously, you do have design kind of pick routes, but it's a little bit too much contact right there.
Brandon Wager checks in. So what do you got here, Coach, on 3rd and 20 yards to go?
Man, I mean, it's deep. You don't want to get anybody hit. I'm maybe thinking a screen or just, there you go. Little wide receiver screen right there.
Bubble screen to Norwood. Runs into a headache at the 40 in the person of Matthew Judon.
You're looking at, long yardage like that. You don't want the defense to be able to just tee off on you. So a lot of times you'll see draws and screens on 3rd and long like that.
So now, Swayze Waters, 29-year-old punter. He looks in the face like he's about 15. Very live leg, working on his consistency. Panthers are a directional punting team, and Waters doing his job there. Gets it out of bounds untouched inside the 20-yard line. 10-7 Carolina. Back with more Panther football after this word from your local Panthers station. Panther fans are here from all over and from every age. 10-7 Carolina. Let's go to Kevin Donnelly on the sideline. Kevin, how fortunate are the Panther O-linemen to be coached by one of the better offensive line coaches in the game?
Yeah, John Matsko is an excellent coach with tons of experience, and he's really been praising this second-team unit that just came out. He was very happy with the way they moved the ball, especially running the ball. The penalty not on them, so he said, look, you're doing all you can do. Keep getting after it. Ryan Khalil's right by his side, helping him coach these young players.
Javorius Allen, meanwhile, tackled by David Mayo. Matsko's a workout, he's sneaky fit. He's always in the hotel workout room. Ryan Mallett remains in at quarterback. Short range pass complete underneath to Butler. Robinson and others breaking on it. Benet Wickery in the game for the Panthers. Paul Soliai. Very deep Panther defensive line. There's been Wickery, broke his ankle in the Atlanta game mid-December last year. Raven O-linemen in their pass sets. Underneath, skinny dig complete to Butler. First down, Ravens.
Yeah. You know, at the end of this, you look at the linebacker, Klein right there. He goes and uses his shoulder, which is uncharacteristic of this linebacking core. You got to come and wrap up with both arms and run through that ball carrier. That's one thing he will be coached up on. I guarantee he knows he did something wrong.
Good point. It's not bumper cars out there. You got to wrap up. Marcus Ball on Jeremy Butler. Marcus Ball's got a chance. Impressive young player.
Yeah, I mean, this is a physical game, and as that safety, you need to be able to come up, and you're going to get some good big receivers as a safety to be able to have to cover, and he covered him well right there.
And isn't it good to see Benet Wickery?
It is. It is. You know, he's worked his way back into camp, and then for him to get out there and start to get the oils moving is good.
Second down, Dixon. Banged down by Mayo.
Because it's a cycle. When you're coming back from an injury, any injury, you miss time. There's a psychological piece to it, and you have to get over that hump. So being able to get into the preseason game and get over some of those humps is going to be key.
Didn't you feel for Ben Wickery last year, because the Panthers practiced at his alma mater, San Jose State, and he had everything he needed except being active to play the game.
I agree with you.
Third down and 9. Mallett deep drop to Waller. Ben Wickery picks him up and assists him to the ground. Good tackle against a bigger man.
That's a good tackle right there. See how he comes with two hands? His feet never stop. Was able to get his defense off the field right there.
They had field turf here for a long time, growing grass and doing a fairly nice job. The field looks good tonight.
And I think a lot of people are excited about the new grass.
Panthers will double both gunners, trying to set up a run back. Bird. Oh. Not good. Hit very hard at the 20. And is now up. The penalty flag at the 25.
During the return, illegal block in the back. Receiving team number 31. 10-yard penalty, first down, timeout.
Cam Newton was in the game early and played well, and now he is having fun helping Coach Rivera coach the Carolina Panthers to a 3-point second quarter lead. Score's been the same for a while. Panthers were up 10-0. Now it's 10-7 Carolina. Last year, Mike, the Panthers excelled in taking the football away. Look at that, 39 turnovers to lead the National Football League.
You know why that's so important? You're giving your offense 39 more time to score, and that's why they scored so much and did so well last year. The defense complementing the offense.
Wager up the middle got popped by Henry. Panthers did a good job with points off of those turnovers too. Sean McDermott told us this week that sometimes they come in bunches. You just start getting a feel for it, and you can turn offenses over.
The other thing, they practice these drills every single practice, stripping the ball, running to the ball. If you run to the ball, good things will happen.
He wants this defense to ID as physical, run to the ball, tackle well, and take the ball away. On 2nd and 13, pass intended for Wager and is incomplete. That takes us to the 2-minute warning. So we'll be back with more Carolina Panther football, but first, this word from your local Panthers station. Welcome back to M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore, Maryland. Nick Mixon, Mike Rucker, Kevin Donnelly with you. Panthers are off schedule, up 3, but it's 3rd down and 13. Good idea, but Baltimore had the same thought.
Again, the Panthers playing it safe with a little draw right there. The Ravens were all over that one, snipped that one out early. A little pump fake, and then you didn't fool the Ravens whatsoever on this play.
Draw play, a run after you fake pass. Juden made the tackle. So time to punt it out of there. Swayze Waters will get most of the work tonight. Sports hernia flared up a little bit for Mike Seifert. Let's see what the Krispy Kreme sweet tweet traffic is looking like from the Panthers win. You win, by the way, on the Monday following every Panther victory. Get a dozen original glazed for just $4.99 at Krispy Kreme. Are you on Twitter?
I am.
Luke. Reynolds the deep man. Waters. High, lazy, wobbly one. Fair catch signal made and disrespected by the Carolina Panthers, and that's a penalty.
That's dangerous. Might have been
Fair catch interference. Offense number 97. 15-yard penalty. First down.
38-yard punt for Mario Addison intervened. So here's some of our sweet tweets brought to you by Krispy Kreme. New breed being released tonight. Let's go Panthers. Definitely the most wonderful time of the year, the start of football season. And isn't that nice? We get a photograph from a Panther fan.
I like he's getting the young fella in the game quick. It's the next generation of Panther fans.
Teddy Williams coming off the edge, almost intercepted the handoff. Williams, number 21, good, fast, speedy corner. Has also played receiver in the NFL. On second down, Mallett to Butler. At halftime, you know, Luke Kuechly doing anything, reading a book, cutting his fingernails, whatever would be enticing television for many. But this is Luke trout fishing. Is there anything that he cannot do?
You know what? I fish, and I know that fly fishing is hard, and he makes that even look easy. He's got some good technique.
Libby Weisman will have that feature coming up at halftime. Mallett sprints right and slices out of bounds for the first down. Stops the clock at 1:06.
Well, we've seen this a couple times tonight. You know, you got the left defensive end right there gets collapsed inside and opens up the outside for the quarterback just to run for a first down. The number one rule as a defensive end, you got to stay outside and make everything come up inside. You cannot let it be that easy for the offense.
No Joe Flacco tonight. Mallett's gone all the way. Yeah, Ryan Dallaire got knocked down coming off the edge. Screen, Butler, or check it, Allen, and it's open, and he will score. The Ravens take the lead right before halftime.
Not good for the Panther defense right here. The D-line kind of gets sucked up in there. And once you're able to get your offensive lineman down there and get a hat on your defense, it is very hard to get off those offensive linemen downfield. That was like the perfect call for that perfect defense right there. Baltimore Ravens were able to get it into the end zone.
Running back screen. One of the developing stories in this game, I would think, Mike Rucker, is how well both Derek Anderson and Ryan Mallett have played.
They both played very well. And I mean, obviously we know, Derek Anderson, what he has done over the last couple preseason when his number's called. And Mallett obviously trying to solidify his spot of being the number 2 quarterback.
PAT slips in there. So it's 14-10 Ravens. Well, the Panthers have a great combination in Ryan Khalil and in Cam Newton. And Cam Newton, early on in his career, earned the respect of number 67.
I don't think people realize or get to know and see what he does behind the scenes. And he's one of the first guys in the building, one of the last to leave. He cares a lot about what his coaches and teammates think of him. He cares a lot about being prepared and how he goes about his week and his process of getting ready for games on Sunday. So that's something I've always admired of Cam, is he sort of this big personality and he has all this fun, but he's an incredible worker who cares about his teammates, and what can you ask for?
Mike, do you think, I mean, every marquee figure has haters. There are people that don't like Santa Claus, the Easter Bunny, and the Tooth Fairy, but is Cam Newton misunderstood outside of the building in some ways?
I think that he's just different. Normally quarterbacks, kind of like maybe look and act a certain way, and he just enjoys the game, and I think that it's taken time for people to understand his personality.
Jameer Byrd. Upfield to the 28. Jameer Byrd's made his mark, but Cam Newton and the Panther offense set so many records, led the NFL in scoring at over 30 points per game. There's Mike Shula, the offensive coordinator, the architect of this. And then the rushing yards, second in the league, Mike.
Anytime you can control the clock and you can control another team by running the ball, you're going to win more times than not. There's nothing like being able to run the football. It's a physical game. Shula has done a great job. Obviously, when you put points on the board, that's the name of the game. You put more points up, you're going to win a lot of football games.
Mike Shula, former QB and head coach at Alabama. And that football pedigree is just in him.
Well, he's really helped Cam. I mean, he was Cam's quarterback when he first got here, his coach, and now he's a coordinator. He designs plays for him.
Anderson throwing Burson open and doing a phenomenal job. Led him just perfectly. Ball's in the air before Burson comes out of his cut.
I tell you what, Burson is a workhorse tonight, and he's getting the looks and making the best of it. Look at him make that tough catch sliding on the ground. That's how you impress coaches, when you're able to make those tough catches.
Feels like the Panthers' first down in a while. Burson 4 catches, 53 yards tonight. That one for 14 and the first down. So now what do we got? A clock issue? Terry McCauley, the referee, veteran official, LSU grads, officiated 3 Super Bowls. One person that's not worried about it is that man. So here we go with the Panthers down 4. First down play. 3-man pressure. Lucas almost. Lucas, former wide receiver, trying to learn the tight end spot.
He runs really good routes. I mean, the defensive back just made a good play at getting his arm in there. But Lucas was a former wide receiver, turned into a tight end, can run really good routes.
Looks like the scoreboard clock is not moving, so time being kept on the field. Our clock tied to the scoreboard clock as well. Anderson once again to Burson, full 8 at the 43, held on to the football.
I tell you what, he's got my respect. He comes across the middle. A lot of receivers don't like to do this, and the reason why is this right here. Sometimes you can't see that safety coming down to hit you, and he holds on to the ball. That's when you get respect in this game, when you can catch a tough ball like that and take the hit and keep on ticking.
Terrence Brooks unloaded on him from out of Florida State. Burson still maybe not quite right.
I mean, that was a big hit that he took, especially when you're catching the ball. Your arms are up over, your ribs are kind of exposed, but he held on to that football. Sometimes it'll knock the wind out of you.
16-yard reception and good for the first down. Burson working on a 5-catch, 69-yard first half. So we think there's about 35 seconds left in the second quarter. Panthers trying to move into position in a 4-point contest. Anderson from Gratkowski being pressured. Can't get it to Whitaker in time. Jericho Contry no longer on the club, Mike Rucker. So how does that change the receiving corps?
Well, Coach Shula talked about in our meetings that he's looking to fill that slot spot and looking at Bird and Norwood and Burson and Philly Brown, seeing who can step up and take that production. And so that's why these games are going to be so critical and why Burson is having a good game so far.
Second down and 10. Blitz coming. Incomplete pass to Demir Bird, the intended receiver. Bird's from Errol, New Jersey, played in South Carolina. A lot of people rooting for this young man.
Yeah, you know, getting a little pressure, makes a nice layout catch, just can't hang on to it. You know, we just talked about, mentioned Bird being one of those guys that's looking to try to fill that slot spot. You know, when you're able to kind of hang on to those and make those tough catches, you really stand out to the coaches. And he's already stood out in the punt and the return game. It'd be really nice to see if he could take off from the receiver spot.
Punch this wide right, just out of your screen. Third down and 10. Delayed blitz coming. And a penalty marker down. Norwood, the intended receiver, far side. Did Sheldon Price get in the way?
Pass interference. Defense number 27. Automatic first down.
So the drive has new life with 22 seconds left.
And that's what you'll see sometimes in long distance. Sometimes the wide receiver can get a pass interference, and the quarterbacks will just throw the ball up, hoping for something like this. Norwood was able to get the pass interference right here.
Norwood, a former Seahawk, reliable hands. He's another one battling for Ricky Prohl receivers. Good look at the 3-by-1 set. Anderson almost intercepted. Looking for Schuler over the middle, nearly picked off by Anthony Levine.
And Anthony Levine was right in the middle of the field. He was looking at DA the whole time. You see him right there. He's just falling back. And I don't know if DA didn't see him or not, but I know DA's like, that could have easily have been intercepted right there.
Second down and 10. 4-point Raven lead. They've scored 14 in a row. Panthers were up 10-0. Anderson quickly going right side, complete Stephen Hill. Hill on its feet. To the 13. How about that run after the catch? Timeout, Coach Rivera and the Carolina Panthers.
You know, again, you've seen a lot of screens. Here's another wide receiver screen. Able to stay on his feet and get down the field. But it does allow you to get a chance to get a field goal.
So alert to field goal unit on the sideline, and part of that field goal unit, that triangle of the holder, the kicker, and the snapper, is the holder. Mike Cyphers, a little bigger target on one knee than the shorter Swayze Waters. Cyphers has held for two of the best, Nate Kading and Nick Novak in San Diego. This will be a 31-yarder. Perfect. So the two teams head to their respective locker rooms with the interval score from M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore, Maryland. Baltimore 14, Carolina 13. Stay tuned for Luke Kuechly trout fishing when we come back to Baltimore in just a moment.
Carolina Panthers football is being brought to you by Autobell Car Wash. When we shine, you shine. By Subway, eat fresh. And by Assa Abloy, the global leader in door opening solutions. Carolina Panthers football is being brought to you by Touchstone Energy, North Carolina's Touchstone Energy cooperatives powering the lives of 2.5 million North Carolinians. By Subway, eat fresh. And by Assa Abloy, the global leader in door opening solutions.
This is what you do if you don't have barbecue, but it actually is not half bad. The crab thing up here in Baltimore, Maryland. 14-13, your halftime score. Let's go to Kevin Donnelly. He was able to infiltrate somehow the Carolina Panthers locker room. What did you learn, KD?
Oh, just tried to blend in a little bit down there, but I was able to pick up some things from the offense and defensive sides. First on offense, Coach Shula was really praising the offense for a good finish on the first half, scoring the 3 points at the end of the first half, but really was reiterating, especially to the young players, go out there, play fast, you know your stuff, line up correctly, don't make mistakes to shoot yourself in the foot. Now on the defensive side, Sean McDermott telling those guys, listen, we got to start this second half like a playoff defense. Go out there on fire. I don't care who's out there playing. Get those guys off on third down and get the offense back on the field.
How does 300 pounds of former NFL O-lineman blend in? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, that's a good one right there.
Oh, you know, just, are you still on me? Yeah, I can blend in real nice. You know what? I just sneak in on the back row, just kind of keep my head looking down and just absorb everything going on.
I like it. I like it.
Kevin Donnelly added to our broadcast crew this year, doing a great job. Mike Rucker mixing upstairs. Panthers to kick off to begin the second half. Ron Rivera, not only a great coach, but a lifelong learner. He's always observing Mike Krzyzewski. He wants to talk to Tony La Russa, John Madden, and try to educate himself to help the Panthers. Right up the middle, then angling left is Terrence West, out across the 20. Crushed at around the 24. So, how the rookies acquit themselves, Michael?
Well, I think that they went after Bradbury early. I think he held up pretty good. Butler got some action. You saw him blitzing, his number called, getting some action, being able to put a hit on the quarterback. I think that when you're able to get these guys in some actions, whether it's blitz or some one-on-one situation, they're going to get used to this game and they're going to settle down real quick. And I think Sean McDermott did a great job putting them in the right position to win.
Saw Worley there late coming in on a corner crash and getting home. Josh Johnson in at quarterback for the Ravens. The zone right side, Kenneth Dixon for no gain on the play. Panthers went heavy defense with their 2016 draft picks.
Well, you know, being a former defensive guy, I love this draft right there. I'm fine with this, especially the big fella Butler, you know, coming in as a D tackle. He's going to really help this defensive line be even stronger. And then you got the three rookies in the corners, which they're going to be fine. They have all the physical abilities. It's going to be fun to watch them and see them grow.
Short drop by Johnson. Has a receiver open right wing. Waller sets up third down and about a yard.
I think what people need to understand, there's going to be a learning curve. They're going to get a beat because they haven't seen some of these things. They haven't seen the pace of a game in some of these receivers. Offensive coordinators know that you got two rookie corners. They're going to go after them. So that's why the secondary being young while your front seven is going to be so important to get that pressure.
Third down and a yard. Josh Johnson, been a part of 8 NFL rosters. Longer count. Another short drop. And Butler's got it for the first down right over the middle. Mayo. Here's a good shot of Robert Thomas, 76. David Mayo in on defense as well. We'll tell you more about Robert Thomas in a second. Plays with very, very good leverage and pad level. Ravens from the -40. Right side to Boyle for about 5. Thomas Davis, for one, says he's been pretty impressed with what he's seen of this young defensive secondary.
It's all about running to the ball. It's all about finishing plays. You know, you're not going to win every time you line up across from a receiver. It's all about how you bounce back from your losses, and that's one of the things that we're going to be focusing in on talking to these guys about. You know, line up and play the next play. Good things happen in the game, bad things are going to happen. But you line up, you play the next play, and you're ready to go.
You know, and Thomas is right. You know, the coaching staff, they know guys are young and they're going to make mistakes. But, you know, one thing that you don't have to be taught, and that's run to the ball. If you're running to the ball, good things will happen. We can fix the mistakes and tell you where to go, but we can't help you run to the ball.
And Thomas Davis, unbelievable too, coaching, not only being coached, but helping coach the younger players.
If I'm a young guy, and especially a linebacker, and I get to learn from Thomas Davis and Luke Kuechly, I mean, that's unheard of.
Johnson's jittery, that back foot hits, and he didn't see what he wanted, so he takes it up the middle, weaves for what I think will be the first down. David Mayo on the tackle.
And you'll see Mayo coming in as this quarterback scoots out the pocket, gets a nice little lick. You don't get a lot of licks on quarterbacks nowadays like that, so you got to take advantage of it when you get it. You know, David Mayo, big contributor on special teams. A.J. Klein, you know, these are the backup linebackers that are learning from Luke Kuechly and Thomas Davis.
On first down, Waller again. Sliding grab at the 32 for the first down. Waller's been a pest.
He has, and you know, on this play right here, it's just a zone, and you look at your two linebackers right there, they need to get more depth. You see the receiver drop in right behind them. They were looking at that tight end that was in front of them. You want to play down to that tight end, but you can't let guys sneak in behind you.
In Panther territory are the Ravens. Zone stretch left side, Terrence West outnumbered and put down.
You know, number 42, Colin Jones. I mean, he's the special teams ace for this special teamer, but he is active in the run game. You see him right there, just slide to the outside, fall back in, and make the tackle.
Did a good job, didn't he? Shedding that blocker.
Very physical. And he's fast, too. A lot of people don't know that, but he's fast. He's one of the faster guys on this team.
West out, Dixon in. Dixon to throw a block for Johnson as he comes right up behind him to the 21. Closest man to it, Brian Bleckett, touched Johnson down. 1 week from tomorrow, we'll be in Tennessee to broadcast preseason game number 2 for you. Right here on this day. And it's an afternoon game.
Yeah, it's going to be a little bit of switch up.
Ends in tight, flanker to each side. Dixon. Muscular run, breaking tackles, and finally down at the 9-yard line. First down Ravens, 12-yard scoot by fourth-round draft pick.
Number 39, you know, Trenton Robinson comes in, but he's arm tackling. He left his feet. He's got to stay on his feet and run through the tackle. Now that running back doesn't get down, and he's able to scoot out for a first down. You have to bring your feet. That is basic tackling football that you learn in Pee Wee. You got to run through the ball carrier.
Panthers maybe light a man on the field. Someone ran off. Could have been the 11th guy. So a timeout. And Kyle Love, we saw 93 miss a tackle on him as well. Coach Rivera, the former linebacker, used to stout defenses, and last year he had one.
Hey, when you talk about Sean McDermott, I mean, the last 4 years, his defense has just been dominating. 4 top 10 defenses, you know, points allowed. I mean, you see the numbers, they speak for themselves. But the way that he starts from zero with his guys, no matter if he's got a veteran team or not, he's going to coach it the same way. And that is, you got to run, and we're going to be physical. He's old school, and I love that about Sean McDermott. He's old school, get after the ball and be physical.
Branch of the Jim Johnson coaching tree for Philadelphia. Blitz happy, very creative. That was Jim Johnson, and a little bit of Sean McDermott as well. First and goal. Johnson tucks it to the 4 and a flag. Late hit. Didn't look like it.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness. Defense number 36, late hit out of bounds. Half the distance to the goal. First down.
And you got to know as a defense what kind of quarterback you have in the game. You have a running quarterback, so that means you have to be conscious of your lane. Ryan Delaire has lost contain numerous times tonight, and here's another example of where the quarterback gets outside the pocket and it puts stress on your defense. And then on top of that, you get a personal foul.
Half the distance, not as expensive a foul as it could have been. Line and balance to the left. Ravens will run to the strong side. No, West reversing its field. Right pylon. Touchdown.
Mick, I mean, we just talked about contain. And you look at the defensive end, Ryan Delaire, right here, but he got his shoulders turned. You got to keep your shoulders square. Once he turned his shoulders, he had no shot. That running back's going to outrun you 9 out of 10 times to the sideline, and West got the touchdown. He's got to keep his shoulders square, shuffle down the line, and then when he comes back, he's ready to shoot upfield.
I got to give you credit, partner. You've been on that all night, and we saw a great example of it there.
Yeah, and I know, the D-line coach, Eric Washington, is not happy about that because those are the things that we talked about. Those are basics, and that will be corrected.
Ravens will go for 2 to try to make it 21-13. Bowler's open. And the 2-point conversion. Boyle from Johnson. So that makes it Baltimore 22 and the Carolina Panthers 13. After that, Ravens 12-play drive. Eric Washington getting his defensive line coached up. Ravens to kick off up 22-13. Wager, Bird back deep. Wager. Flag down, and so is Wager at the 18.
During return, holding, receiving team number 30. Half the distance to the goal. First down.
Coach Rivera can't be that happy. 7 penalties now on the Carolina Panthers. We're going to see Joe Webb when we come back with more Panther football. But first, this word from your local Panther station. Ravens up 9. It's so much fun to check in and scroll through our Krispy Kreme sweet tweets. They're brought to you by Krispy Kreme. Remember, when the Panthers win, so do you. On the Monday following every Panther victory, a dozen original glazed donuts are just $4.99 at Krispy Kreme. Here's a Luke one. Does a segment on his fishing hobby. Every girl in Charlotte is headed to Bass Pro Shops tomorrow. I'll let you comment on that one.
That's funny. That's a good one.
Webb running that read option, gave it to Brandon Wager. What's Joe Webb do for you, being able to play special teams and quarterback?
Man, he is definitely all-purpose right there. I mean, he had so many special team plays. You don't ever really see your third quarterback running down on kickoff and punts and making plays. And then all of a sudden he can be your third quarterback or a receiver. So he is very multi-purpose, very good athlete.
Sent Sandlin in motion towards him, and then airmailed Bird near sideline. Webb is bigger than you think he is. When you stand next to him, he is very, very solid 6'4".
He is. We got some really good big quarterbacks, and that's kind of the thing. Just like our receivers, we got big receivers. So sometimes on teams you'll see a theme going on, and obviously Joe Webb is a big part of this this offense and special teams.
Webb dunked a basketball for the first time at age 14. Good, one of the many good basketball players on the Panthers. Four-man pressure. Webb to Bird, bobbled it and caught it. Demir Bird for the first down. Unbelievable play.
Wow. That's how you turn heads in the coaching staff. The defensive back had great coverage, and you see Bird just put out that one-handed catch and was able to haul it in. That is a very tough catch. He never took his eyes off the ball. He didn't care where that defender was. He had his eyes on the ball, and he walked it in.
35 yards and a first down. The option. Lost yardage. Brandon Wager slipped down. You're right about Demir Bird. I mean, he's flashed in a variety of ways tonight, and that just not giving up on the play, concentrating and bringing it in.
Well, he had a big return in the special teams kicking game earlier in the game, and you know, he's really going to be able to help this ball club in the return game when he's showing flashes like that, and then you can catch the ball. The more you can do, the longer you'll stay around in this game.
Showing his toughness too. Was hit hard on a kickoff return early in the game. Baltimore with a safety so deep he's out of your screen. Webb to Wager to the 48 and paid for it. Arthur Brown from Kansas State here.
Wager had a really good preseason last year and really came on late and showed some flashes. And so you're able to run the ball hard like this, low center of gravity, delivering the blow. That's what you want to look for in a running back, especially in this running game, the system.
Wager, one of those stories too. Bounced around different colleges, worked construction, and trying to feed his family, make this team. Two receivers left, two receivers right. Fastball over the middle, incomplete at Stephen Hill.
Joe Webb hung in that pocket, throwing off a little off balance, put it right there in the breadbasket. Hill just wasn't able to hold on to the ball.
Should he have caught it? Hard to tell. Will Davis got a hand in there. So Swayze Waters to punt it. Bobbled. Who recovered it? The officials come in to umpire. It's Carolina football.
It was Fozzie Whitaker.
Looked like Clay juggled it. Even if you make that fair catch signal, you have to bring it in. Yep, Fozzie Whitaker.
Good things happen when you run to the ball. Coaches always talk about that. Fozzie Whitaker holds off, and he's right there for the treat.
36-yard punt. Plenty of air under it. And the Panthers see if they can capitalize on the turnover. Cameron Artis Payne in the backfield. Stack twins right. Webb after faking to Artis Payne. Baltimore was wise. Here's our CPI security system red zone offense. This is what the Panthers have done so far today. 1 of 3, Mike.
Yeah, and you know, Cam missed Ted Ginn Jr. early on. I know he wished he had that one back, and that number could have been maybe a little bit different. But you're getting another opportunity right here, and that's what the coaching staff wants to look for. Can we get in the red zone, and can we punch it in?
Webb dries his fingers on his uniform towel. 2nd and 10 with a blitz coming. Sack. Chris Carter. He timed it up well.
Yeah, Carter, big guy coming right over the guard. The guard doesn't have a chance right here. I thought Joe Webb might have a little bit of time, seeing that, to maybe just toss the ball out of there, but Carter coming so hard, so fast, right up the gut, it kind of limits your chances.
Good play by Carter. 3rd down, 20.
You're in field goal range. Maybe look to take a shot right here.
And Webb calls a timeout. So we'll take timeout as well from M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore, Maryland, with the Ravens up 9 over the Panthers. Here's where we are, 4:30 to go, 3rd quarter. This is how the Carolina Panthers got possession in Baltimore Raven territory. Clay with the mishandle. Fozzie Whitaker pounced on it. But a sack of Joe Webb, a minus yardage play, sets up 3rd down and 20 for the black-clad Panthers. Bird started in motion towards Webb. Webb going the other way. Norwood clocked at the 18.
Initially, it looked like that play was going to develop, but it just shut down really quick. Just once again, fake right, and it's a wide receiver screen to your wide receiver. You have some hats, but you get a white jersey in there, and it kind of messes up. That wide receiver screen is a timing type thing, and when the timing gets messed up, it's tough to develop.
So Swayze Waters on one knee for what will be a 36-yard Graham Gano field goal attempt. From the left hash. Good. And a penalty marker down. You take points off the board, Coach?
Well,
if it's against Baltimore?
I'm going to be real upset because this is your kicker, and this is a preseason game, and obviously they're vulnerable at times, and so I would be real upset, you know, that my kicker's getting hit like that in a vulnerable position.
Defense number 39. Penalties decline. Field goal's good. Timeout.
Fortunately, Gano okay. So here's what happened as we go to break. Graham Gano junction after the block attempt. Back with more after this break. As Pete Hayner with his back to you, Scott Simonson, a tight end on the left. I think it's Olsen to the left of him. Pete Hayner, the veteran O-line coach, and Greg Olsen trying to become the first tight end in NFL history to author 3 consecutive 1,000-yard receiving campaigns.
Yeah, he is so valuable to this offense, and he really controls the middle of the field. And when you look at Olsen, and you're able to put Ted Ginn out on the outside with the speed, and then you got KB with the size, he's coming back. I mean, just the weapons. And, you know, the one thing about Greg Olsen, he knows, like, all the positions, and he knows the whole playbook. He's always getting people lined up.
Gronkowski is in the same position as Olsen, so it could be that they both do it this year, or perhaps one or none. The Gano approach, got a lot of it, and it's a touchback. I think Kevin Donnelly's got a special guest on the sideline. Who are you standing next to, KD?
Well, I feel kind of small standing right here next to Kelvin Benjamin. He's got about an inch on me, I think. But Kelvin, so good to see you back on the field. How did the knee feel tonight?
It felt great, man. It felt great to get out here with the guys.
You know, the physical injury being what it is, how did it feel emotionally? You know, coming out of the tunnel, back on the field with your teammates.
It was a lot of emotions running through my mind. You know, Mr. Getterman came to me, just calm down. You know, it's just a game. Just take your time. You know, Cam, all the guys, just rally around me, man. You know, to get back on the field and just do what I do.
Now, let me ask you, you get to compete against these rookie defensive backs every single day. Anything stick out about them? Any of them, how their development's going? What do you think of the young guys so far?
I mean, 26, he's more a technician guy. He quick in his feet work, and he's very good. Bear, he more physical. You know, I love that physicalness with Bear.
Yep. Talking about James Bradbury. And yeah, that's right. You call him by number, man. It's not old school like a Buddy Ryan thing. Yeah. How about receiver-wise? You got a talented, deep group and some good showings tonight. Demir Bird making a heck of a catch, and then Burson having a really good first half. How about some of the other young guys?
I think first of all, I got to give up for Stephen Hill, man. You know, coming back from him tearing his knee like he did, and he coming back, man. He's doing a hell of a job. And Philly made a couple good play catches out there. Funches.
He's having a good preseason, really rocking it in camp. Now, tell me, I'll ask you just one last thing. You know, in terms of this receiving core, all the guys that you can get lined up, what do you think of a lineup with you, Devin, Greg Olsen, and another guy like, say, Stephen Hill? I mean, that is incredible. Everybody's 6'5".
Unstoppable.
You heard it right there. Unstoppable. Well, thank you, Kelvin, for spending some time with us.
Thank you, man. Thanks for having me.
Great job, both of you. Meanwhile, Nick Boyle goes airborne and jumps clean over a Panther.
Yeah, again, you know, it's basic tackling. You never want to leave your feet. You go for the knockout. And these big tight ends, it's risky to jump over some guys like that, but it paid off for the big fella.
Looked like he jumped over Marcus Ball, who then got the worst of a collision with a teammate. Johnson taken down. And fumbled, recovered by the Panthers.
D-line really steps up, gets some pressure on the ball. And again, we talked about turnovers. You're able to get the ball back to your offense.
Somehow or another, Eric Crummy digs it out of a big scrum. Back with more Panther football after this word from your local Panther station. Mick Mixon, Mike Rucker, Kevin Donnelly. Mike, the Panthers' first sack of the game ends up being a sack fumble.
Yeah, it looks like, I mean, there's so many defensive guys around here that are making it. There you go, big fella right there. Big Eric Crum sticks that left hand in there and gets the ball out of there. That's what Eric Washington's talking about, when you collapse the pocket and you can't tell who gets the sack because everybody's there.
Toss sweep to Wager for a yard. Arthur Brown made the tackle, so it remains a one-possession game. Panthers have forced 3 Raven turnovers, and we got a man down. Arrington. Preseason games, Mike, are games within games, right? So you got your ones against their ones. You want to keep score there, then 2s, then 3s. So really the Panthers, I think we can say, won the most important part of tonight.
Yeah, and they've been going back and forth, and you know, obviously you think the Panthers definitely won the ones game, and the 2 started off a little shaky, but now they've kind of got their feet, kind of got their wind coming out of halftime, which is what you want to kind of see. Guys will settle down, all the nerves are gone. Now you're in the 3rd quarter, and now you'll be able to play football that you've been playing since you've been 9, 8 years old.
2-time NFL Coach of the Year, Ron Rivera. Kevin Donnelly's got another guest on the field, and Kevin, this time you got a defensive player with you.
That's right. You know, we're about eye level right here instead of Kelvin Benjamin, who was looking over me. It was unbelievable. I got Thomas Davis with me. Thomas, how you feeling about this team's production tonight? It started a little bit shaky, but those turnovers the last couple of series has to make you feel good.
Yeah, turnovers have definitely been big for us tonight, but you know, we've been a poor tackling defense tonight, and you know, that's not good. That's something we work on all the time. And we know it's the first preseason game, first time getting the opportunity to tackle live, but we have to do a much better job than we're doing right now.
Well, you know, you're one of the older guys on defense. You're kind of the grandpa out there. How's it feel going into this season? You know, you're playing your best football. You came off a Pro Bowl appearance. What goals have you set for 2016 for yourself?
You know, my goals this year are to be better than I was last year. You know, that's the focus. That's the mindset year in and year out. You know, you try to come out, you try to improve on the things that you were able to do last year, and this year is no different. You know, that's the mindset. If we can come in, especially for an individual goal, to be better than I was last year, and our team goal is to be better than we were last year, then we'll end up right where we want to be.
Well, last question. With some of the young guys on defense, who are some guys that we should watch out for?
You know, I'm excited about seeing what all of our young guys are doing. When you look at the cornerbacks, what they've been able to do coming in and competing, not really knowing how they were going to be in live action, but getting to see them in practice. They brought the same intensity that they had in practice to the game today. I was very excited to see that. You know, my young linebackers, you know, they're doing a really good job right now. And, you know, we just continue to get better as a football team, and that's what it's all about.
Well, thank you, Thomas, for your time. Hey, Mick, back up to you guys.
Appreciate it.
Thanks, Kevin. Thank you, Thomas. Joe Webb needed 9, rush for 10. So on first down, Webb going long and left, and just incomplete. Is there any way to quantify what the 58 has meant to this organization and to this team?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to say in words. I mean, you know, a guy that's come back from so many injuries and then coming back and playing at a Pro Bowl level. You know, so many other people probably would have written him off, but this organization stuck with him, and it paid off for both sides. And, you know, you couldn't have a better captain and the linebacker back there in Thomas Davis.
Walter Payton, Man of the Year, doting father, husband to Kelly. I mean, he's just as solid as they come. No gain, Wager. We told you every other team in the NFC South is playing tonight. Washington and Atlanta in a tight one fourth quarter. These were 7 o'clock kicks. Tampa Bay down against Philadelphia. That one's at Philadelphia, and the Bucs have a new coach this year, Dirk Ketter. New England trying to stifle New Orleans' comeback attempt. There'll be more games tomorrow and over the weekend. So we have a timeout call by Baltimore. 30 seconds to go in the third.
I think this is a pivotal time. Like, you'd really like to see this offense convert this third down. I mean, you've kind of been hanging out around here, get a couple kick field goals. You'd really like to see to convert this third down and maybe get a touchdown.
Talked to Thomas Davis a second ago. A team with good linebackers on it like this, so hard to run or throw against.
It is. I mean, there's just so much speed, and it starts with the D-line keeping the linebackers clean, that they are able to flow off sideline to sideline and being able to get to the tackle. So, you know, this is a team that is a full team from being able to stop the run and being able to cover in the pass. They are a really good defense.
Great little package there by our crew, and you could not tell that was preseason action. Those linebackers playing like it's a playoff game. Joe Webb over the middle to Kieris Garrett, 1 yard short of the first down.
Looks like they're staying out there. Looks like they're going to go for this.
Might not be another third quarter player. Perhaps the Panthers can squeeze one off on fourth down and a yard. Timeout
of the third quarter.
Nope, third quarter expired. So we'll take a break. Fourth and final quarter coming up next from Baltimore, Maryland. Right after you pay close attention to these commercial messages. Luke August Kuechly, one of the great zone drop pass coverage linebackers in the modern era of football. More about it in a moment. Fourth down in the yard. Webb trucking right. Will have it to the 24-yard line. Third quarter stats are brought to you by Bank of America. What do you see, Mike?
Yeah, the stats, I mean, they're pretty even right there. But, you know, the one stat that I really like, points off turnovers. And that's a theme that was last year, and it's a theme they're carrying over, and that's a good thing to have.
Wager pokes his head in there for a couple. Is it important? I mean, I know the team would love to fly home with a victory, but how much are the Panthers looking up at the scoreboard at this point?
Well, no matter, every man over there wants to win, regardless if it's checkers or paper, rock, scissors, first of all. But the things that you want to have a good outing, not a lot of mental mistakes. Injuries is another big thing. If you can get out healthy, I think those are 2 win-wins. And then if you win the ball game, that's icing on the cake.
Wager again with slot receiver Avius Capers blocking for him. Wager got another handful of yards, so it's 3rd down and 3. Ball's at the 17. Wager sturdy. Baltimore flinched, and a penalty.
False start.
But they were drawn off.
Offense number 62. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
You really hate that one because you go from 3rd and 3 to 3rd and 8, where you had a run, read, pass option on 3rd and 3, where now 3rd and 8, it kind of handcuffs you a little bit.
Reese Dismukes, 62. That's the 8th penalty on the Panthers so far today. So, as Mike said, back Carolina goes. 3rd and 8, way yonder different than 3rd and 3. Webb in trouble. Complete to Schuler, short of the 1st down. Or Wager it was, Brandon Wager, not 12 miles Schuler. At least he got some yardage back, though, making the field goal try a little shorter.
Yeah, there was a little bit of pressure up the middle again, but Joe Webb brings this presence of where he can be able to get out of the pocket and buy himself some time, and it was able to get that pass off there. But that's what he's bringing to the table with his athleticism, is he can buy you some time.
3 for 3. This will be from 36. Good. Good snap from Jansen, and a good hold, and Gano did the rest. So 4 field goals for Graham Gano. Panthers are hanging in there. It's a 3-point game at M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore, Maryland.
Is pass rush, and you look around the game, that guys that are really good at that are dynamic at their position. I think Thomas does a good job. I look at 3 phases as a linebacker. Running, rushing the passer is one of them, coverage and then run game. And if you can move the quarterback, you can pressure the quarterback, you can make him uncomfortable, makes everyone's job on the defense better.
And I think last year, one of their signature blitzes in the pass rush where you see Kuechly and Thomas Davis in those A-gaps, putting that pressure like Luke was talking about and moving the quarterback. And that's something that he's worked on in the last 2 off seasons, is his pass rushing abilities. And that has definitely paid off for this defense and this linebacking core.
People talk about how intelligent, how savvy Luke Kuechly is, but that's a product of the film study, the work that he does.
You're exactly right.
Dixon. Game return man. Dixon takes it to the 31. Luke Kuechly pretty accustomed to being the tackle leader. This is according to the coach's film. So 3 out of the last, going back to 2009, Luke Kuechly's been the guy.
Yeah, he's a tackling machine. I mean, you talk about Thomas Davis and him being competitive. I guarantee they are looking to try to lead each game in tackles, and that's the kind of competition, the friendly competition, that helps you continue to be better.
We're in the 4th quarter. 3-point Raven lead. Dixon. Panthers had some penetration on that.
Great penetration right there, and I like that it's late in the 4th quarter, you're tired, but you're still able to get upfield and string that play out to the sideline for like a 2-yard gain, 3-yard gain.
It was Jeremy Cash, 57, that had his jersey yanked off of his shoulder pad. Stephen Houston in, and there's Cash, former Duke Blue Devil. Johnson coming near side to Collins. Complete to the 41. Lou Young defending. Michael Phelps is from here. And he must be swimming. Pretty incredible what Michael Phelps is, the legacy he's created.
And an athlete to an athlete, you always like to see athletes compete and do well, and he's definitely done that.
Play action pass. Good yardage. Flag down. Around midfield, Daniel Brown caught that Josh Johnson pass and took it upfield.
Illegal block in the back. Offense number 63. 10-yard penalty. First down.
Wayne Clausell, left tackle. There he is.
Guilty party.
Three-point Raven lead. Jeremy Cash getting lined up right. Jared Norris, 52, also in with him. First down and 10 play for Baltimore. Ravens stay on the ground where they have had some success. Dixon, the 4th round draft choice, to the 46-yard line.
There's a little bit more yardage than the Panthers defense is usually liking to allow right there. Some missed tackles right there. When you're able to pull guards, you need that disruption to knock off that timing.
That was a counter with a wham block by the tight end.
And it's a lot of moving parts, but when you're able to get penetration, you're able to knock that off. If you don't, that's what happens, those big 10-yard gains.
Short drop, and then the short range pass complete to Collins again. And Travell Dixon, a rangy free safety from the University of Washington, and he showed well at practice.
He did, and I think this is an opportunity right here where you're at midfield and you need a stand. As a defense, you're in the 4th quarter. You've been playing a lot. This is where you need a stand. Someone needs to step up and make a big play.
Dixon, 8 for 46 yards so far. This time it's Houston around the right corner for good yardage.
And this has been a theme tonight that I guarantee Sean McDermott does not like, and that's contain. I mean, you have this play strung out, you have penetration, and it gets strung out, and guys get hooked, and you get loose contained. This play should have been dead in the water.
12-yard run to the 36. Ravens working now the other side of the field again with Houston. Fourth quarter rather, clock ticking away. Here's the scoreboard brought to you by Geico. Highlights from around the league. Washington and Atlanta still in the 4th. No score or no change in the score in the Tampa Bay at Philadelphia game. Still an 8-point game in New England. Chicago scoreless against Denver. Sanchez breaking on Waller and playing some good defense. We've seen a little bit of Sanchez tonight. Enough for you to have an opinion, Ruck?
You know, I think the jury's still, I think they still need to get some more work. I mean, I think he's done well. No big plays. But, you know, him getting work, he's going to get a lot more work at the slot. You know, they want to play him at that, you know, that nickel spot. So he's moving from a different position of being outside on the corner to slot. So he's getting a little work on both sides.
Kind of remind you of Cortland Finnegan a little bit. Panthers blitz. Force a quicker throw, which is incomplete over the middle.
We were, you know, talking about Sanchez getting some work here. Panthers bring a blitz. Maybe enough just to put a little pressure on the quarterback to where he throws it a little bit early. You know, Cash is one of those guys that you've heard his name in training camp, that's had a good training camp for a young guy. You really want to see good film and good tape on him.
53-yard field goal attempt. from Will Lutz. Hooked it. No good. Had the distance. So the Panthers will take over from the spot the kick was attempted. Still a chance for the Panthers to come back and take the lead. Back with more Panther football after this word from your local Panther station. The Ford Drive of the game brought to you by your Carolina Ford dealers. Go farther. Visit buyfordnow.com. Mike Rucker, it happened just the way the Panthers scripted it up the first possession of the ball game.
Yeah, you got a long drive. Cam spread the ball around to all his receivers. So Ted Ginn missed right there, but then you're able to put 3 up on the board. And you never saw those guys again. They got them out. That's what Coach wanted to see, a nice long drive, and that satisfied him.
Cam for the night. 5 of 6 in the passing game, 36 yards. Very clean, very efficient, looked pretty comfortable out there.
Yep, and healthy, and we'll move on to Tennessee next week.
Jalen Scoot Simmons carrying the ball on the first down play, got 2. South Carolina State product and 5 feet 8 inches of running back. Webb to Lucas. Out to midfield. Patrick Owasso made the tackle. And Lucas will come out. Must be hard for the Missouri product, used to seeing the defense a certain way at wide receiver, now moves inside the tight end to make the transition.
That's not an easy transition. You know, you've seen, you know, a guy who went tight end to receiver in bunches, but it is difficult. Good route runner, but sometimes holding up to some of those big blocks can be tough.
Joe Webb running for the first down after the offensive line gave him room and time to look over the route tree.
You know, and that's what you get out of Joe Webb when you're able to take off with your feet and make that a double threat. Plenty of time, nothing downfield. That's a safe play. I like that. You can get what the defense gives you.
Webb had that clock in his head, and it went off on him, so he's been in the pocket long enough. Eventually, you know the defense will get to you. Webb from out of the shotgun. Short and left to Simmons. And he's out of bounds. Check in with our Krispy Kreme Sweet Tweets brought to you by Krispy Kreme. When the Panthers win, you win. The Monday following the Panther victory, a dozen original glazed donuts are just $4.99 at Krispy Kreme. Panther fans ready for this team to get it on. Webb to Capers, but a flag back at the 48-yard line.
There are 2 fouls in the play. Holding, offense number 64. Holding, defense number 28. Penalties offset. Second down.
Bound to see some penalties in a preseason game. Let's go to Kevin Donnelly on the sideline with the 59, Luke Kuechly. Kevin.
Well, next to me, number 59, Luke Kuechly. Luke, how do you feel about tonight's first game?
Oh, so far so good. You know, there's some stuff we did really well. I thought we attacked the ball well. We did some good stuff on offense, and you know, obviously the first game there's going to be some stuff that we need to fix, and that's probably, you know, the biggest takeaways is we did some good things, but the bad things we need to correct. So you know, we're off to a good start, and we're in position right now to go down there and score.
You know, who are some of the guys that you like on that linebacking core? I know you guys are a close group. You're, you know, the starting 3 with you and Thomas and Shaq Thompson looked unbelievable, but who are some other guys we need to watch for as the preseason progresses?
You know, we're excited to see what the 3 young guys can do. You know, we got Brian Blacken's another guy that's been around, and Jared Barber, Jared Norris, and Jeremy Cash are 3 young guys that are working extremely hard, and you know, it'll be exciting for these guys to get out here under the lights and see what they got.
Well, you didn't get to work any on your pass rush moves tonight. I know you want to work on that. You're trying to get after the quarterback a little bit this year, but what are some of the things you worked on to get those pass rushes better?
Just fundamental stuff, technique work, and as the season goes on, you can look at you know, schematically what they do on offense. How do they block stuff? What does protection look like? And you know, that'll be some stuff moving forward that can help me out.
Well, Luke, I appreciate your time.
Absolutely.
Congratulations, man.
Thank you very much.
2 nifty pass completions in a row, one to Capers and then one to Garrett, and then Webb just got blistered on a sack. 3rd down 7 to 27. See the clock, 4:12 remaining in a 3-point contest. Wide receiver screen again, and that will have the 1st down. Maybe it's Capers for the 1st down. Well, here's a look at the ever-growing resume of Luke Kuechly.
I mean, look at that. That is your resume as a young linebacker in this league. Rookie of the year, defensive player of the year, first team all pro. I mean, the guy has just really just changed the game, being able to run and be a good guy in pass coverage.
Got a flag down meanwhile at the 20-yard line far side. Kearis Garrett, the intended receiver. Kuechly's also picked up an interest in hand magic, card trick, sleight of hand stuff.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's pretty into it. Been into it for about 3 months now. So watch your wallet and your wristwatch on the
There's
flight
no foul
home.
for illegal substitution. The player was in the game in the previous play.
Yeah, anytime someone comes with the card trick, you know they've got to be good.
Kuechly, student of the game, Boston College. He got his degree. That was another cool thing he did. Came to the NFL without his degree, but then sewed that up.
Absolutely, and that's tough to do when you're playing football and then go back to school, and he did that. You got to tip your hat off for him doing that.
We're under 3.5 minutes. 1st and 10 Panthers. Webb buying time. Flag down at the 9-yard line. And Cavell Connor making the tackle on Joe Webb.
Holding defense number 27. 5-yard penalty at the end of the
Panthers
play.
moving into
Automatic
position
first down.
at least for a potential tying field goal. Here's a look at the defensive holding.
Now you can see right there, that's real blatant right there when you just grab the shoulder pads and jerk a guy around. And Joe Webb, again, using his feet. Looked real close, like he got hit out of bounds.
Webb 9 of 13 passing, 89 yards, 4 rushes for 16 yards and 3 first downs. Hasn't always been pretty, but he's gotten it done.
He has.
With the split backs, second man through, Simmons for 4.
As a defense, you just dread guys that can run the ball, especially when they're fast like Joe Webb. You don't know where they're at. You got a statue back there. You can throw all your moves that you want, but when you got a mobile quarterback, you got to be cautious of where he's at.
So what the Panthers would love to do here, there's still the 2-minute warning, is take a lot of time to score the go-ahead touchdown. Six on the play clock, plenty of time. And Webb slings it just incomplete of Kearis Garrett. Brown covering.
This was just a great play. It was a slant route inside. He has position, but just a great play by Brown, the defensive back. Just getting his hand in there and disrupting the pass.
Ravens a physical defense. They brought a lot of fight. Both teams have. 3rd and goal. Webb looking left at the stacked twins, making sure everybody's set. Panthers going on silent count. Front side pressure coming. Webb gets what he can. And out of bounds. Willie Henry chasing Joe Webb all over the place.
Well, Joe Webb getting the protection, trying to buy himself some time. No one was just open downfield. There for a minute, you thought he was going to be able to make a magic trick and get to that end zone. Just came up a couple yards short.
So it is 4th and goal. And the Panthers are going to go for it. 4-receiver, 1-back set. Lucas couldn't hold on at the 1. Not sure he had the depth anyway, even if he'd have caught it.
Yeah, he would have been real short. He would have been about a half yard short if he would have caught that.
So the Ravens take over on downs. Back with more Panther football after this from M&T Bank Stadium. Our Subway footlong play of the game brought to you by Subway. A.J. Klein in the right spot and would have scored from 94 yards away were it not for a teammate coming onto the field during the return. But Funchess made sure the Panthers got 6. Subway footlong play of the game. Ravens put Gerard Johnson in at quarterback with 2:13 to play in the game.
And final charge timeout, Carolina.
Panthers with just 1 timeout remaining, and Carolina calls it. That's Jared Norris, fine linebacker prospect, free agent out of Utah.
Yeah, I mean, you know, this linebacker core, he's got a lot of young guys that they want to see play.
2-minute warning, and then the final seconds here at M&T Bank Stadium. Mick Mixon, Mike Rucker, Kevin Donnelly. Here's the situation. Carolina Panthers down 3, 2 minutes to play, out of timeouts. Baltimore with 2 remaining. Graham Gano's done his job, 4 for 4 tonight, kicking field goals. There's J.J. Jansen drinking a cup of water, the deep snapper. Panthers have a chance if they can.
Big stop right here will really help
stop. The Ravens second down play. Stops the clock with 2:08 to go. Actually, we're not at the 2-minute warning yet. That is still to come. It was the Panthers timeout that stopped the clock just shy of it.
It's a big 3rd down. I mean, the clock has stopped. You know, you can get the ball back, make them punt the ball, hold them right here on this 3rd and long.
You're right. Plenty of time remaining with that 2-minute warning. Gerard Johnson, 6'5", 250, Texas A&M. Panthers rush 5. And make the tackle inbounds. Daniel Brown.
That is a 2-minute warning. 2 minutes.
Defense did its job. Jeremy Cash and the rest. We'll be back with more Panther football after this word from your local Panther station. Sam Cook from his end zone. Driving punt. Demir Bird plumbers it. Flag down. Mad dash for the football. What a mess.
The ball's still loose.
A Raven finally emerges from the pile with it, but that might not be diagnostic of possession. Terry McCauley's crew conversing to try to sort this out. Here's a look at it. So we got a hold right there. That's probably the penalty.
Penalties decline. First down, Baltimore.
And the Ravens recover.
Yeah, that one really hurt the opportunity to get another shot at the end zone. You know, Bird has been pretty active today, made some good catches in the special teams and on offense, but this one really hurts.
He really has had a good game.
Yeah.
It has been one of the stories of mini camp, OTAs, and training camp.
And just a simple one that got through his hands and hit the knee.
Yep. So with the Panthers out of timeouts, the Ravens can kneel this out. Gerard Johnson takes knee number 1. This season, the Carolina Panthers continue to honor former linebacker and Hall of Honor member Sam Mills, our key pounding player of the game, Brenton Bursa. 5 receptions, targeted 6 times, displayed that kind of key pounding toughness throughout the game tonight.
Yeah, he was very active tonight. He was catching out routes, and he's not scared to come across the middle. He'll take the hit. He'll hang on to the ball. He had a good night tonight.
So this game will not end the way the Panthers had hoped. I don't know, can you give this a letter grade? It's sort of hard to, because you got the first team that did so well and then different results after that.
As we talked about earlier, it looks like everybody kind of came out healthy. Your ones did a good job. I think that's something positive to take away from this first preseason game. You see Coach Rivera talking to Bird right there like, look, hey, sometimes that's going to happen, but you got to be able to shake it off because you're going to be back out there next week.
And that's the essence of Coach Rivera right there,
Absolutely.
hugging his man up.
That's the definition of a coach. He's coaching him up, make sure like, hey, I still got your back. You make mistakes, but come back next week ready to roll.
30 seconds remaining, and that will be the game's last play. Coach Rivera and Coach Harbaugh will shake hands at midfield. Ravens have a good defense. When they get Flacco back, it'll be fun to follow him. For the Carolina Panthers, we'll break all this down and be at Tennessee 1 week from tomorrow. The final score from M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore, 22-19, Baltimore Ravens.
Carolina Panthers football is being brought to you by Bank of America, official bank of the Carolina Panthers. By Pepsi, official soft drink partner of the Panthers and all for the Carolinas. By Bojangles, your official tailgating headquarters and iced tea of the Carolina Panthers. It's Bo time. And by Miller Lite. As long as you are you, it's Miller time.
In the headlines, there were some mistakes, but that man played well. Cam Newton, A.J. Klein, Brenton Burson, both the quarterbacks played well behind Cam Newton, and it all results in a 22-19 Carolina Panther loss at the Baltimore Ravens. Up next, we're at Tennessee. For Mike Rucker, Kevin Donnelly, our entire Carolina Panthers crew. This is Mick Mixon saying so long from M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore. You've been watching Panther football on the Carolina Panthers television network.
Presentation of the Carolina Panthers and the National Football League.